I'm doing a part 3 of this because I got a billion responses to the last one. I'm not doing a part 4. If you want to put stuff in the comment section, go ahead. I'm not making a part 4. Watch the entirety of my 1K special. That 3-part video you should pay attention to. But no, this is the one that gets attention. I hate YouTube. Here's your responses. I'm gonna read them now. I was too lazy to even put stuff in the background. Here's your suggestions. Some of them are really good. So that's why I'm doing this. Again, apologies if I get anyone's name wrong. I'm just not good at talking. You guys know this. I'm sorry. I don't know how to pronounce your name. Instead of giving new suggestions, he decides to expand on some ideas. So you should probably watch the first 2 parts if you watch this one. The Mickey's Easter Escapade episode Jackie Gonzalez suggested could be an amazing idea, and it would be even more amazing if Roger Rabbit made an appearance, even though he's partially owned by Amblin. I feel like they could finagle him. They got him in the Chip and Dale movie, so I feel like they could find a way to get him in here. And yeah, Roger Rabbit does feel like a great character for one of these episodes. The Muppet special episode would be about the Muppets being special guests at the House of Mouse, but the equipment that projects the cartoon shorts would unexpectedly break. Not wanting to disappoint everyone, currently getting the site, entertaining the guests, will force the gang to try to find the problem. Perfect. Love that episode. Easily the best suggestion I've seen for the Muppet characters. It just fits perfectly for these guys. Your idea of the House of Mouse being frozen by Elsa and burned down by the dragons is a great idea, but I could imagine the Ice Age trio whose characters making a small cameo when the cloud's frozen. Yeah, no, I'll say that's a cute idea. Next week, include the Ice Age characters. Scott McDonald suggests Toodles could be around doing random odd jobs and maybe start some of the plots. That's perfect. Yeah, Toodles didn't exist when the original came out. Toodles is like the round disc-like guy from the preschool show. He didn't exist when the show was made, and no, he would work perfectly. Yeah. A few suggestions here that aren't about the actual episode ideas. People like just saying, "Wow, I have this idea, or this could be cool," which is perfectly fine. No one needs. No, again, I guess in this one, no one needs to suggest ideas. It's just I'm not going to discuss those comments in this video. That's not what this is about. Same thing with like if you left a comment on the original video or like a community post. I'm sorry, I just don't want to dig through all of that to try to find episode ideas. So I'm just looking at the ones posted on the part 2 video. Sorry, I just don't want to dig through everything to find which ones I haven't talked about. Amphibicups Draws has a really cool idea. It would be cool if they established other crossover clubs similar to the House, like a House of Marvel or House of Fox. Then have an episode where the power goes out, except for that house. So now all Disney-owned characters can go over there to hang out. That's a lot of fun. I at the start of my video, I said no Marvel, no Star Wars. I didn't bring up Fox, but I would probably say no Fox. This is actually a really cool idea to go around that. They have one special episode where they go to the House of Marvel or the House of Fox or the House of Star Wars. I mean, not like a full series, but like a few episodes where we look at the House of Marvel, and it's like Spider-Man is hosting everything. I think that would be a lot of fun. Anton Maspust says, Mickey gets kidnapped, and Darkwing, Chip and Dale, Rescue Rangers, and Dazzle Baker Street team up to find him. Cute, fun idea. No, I shall say. Good mix-up of characters. I like it, yeah. Streak Arrow, so I'm sorry if I said that wrong. I'm going to probably say a lot of things wrong. He has a lot of ideas. He has 11, 12, 13, 16 ideas on this guy. Okay. Half his video must be just one comment. Ono from the Lion Guard, feeling like he isn't getting as much work done in his new role on Lion Guard, now Night Pride, as the smartest, and goes to the House of Mouse for a part-time job helping Minnie. The requirement is to help her get things organized for the next big shot guests. Only problem is said guests are Kian, Rano, and Ono. Get anxious because he wants to do both jobs, but feels like if he tells Mickey and the gang or Kian and Ronnie, he'll be outed from both. The truth revealed to both sides agree Ono would be better if he worked at the house part-time when guard duty gets too involved for him. So I've not seen Lion Guard. I know Ono is like the bird, a bit about the show. I know he's the bird. I have not seen the show. It sounds fun. I like the idea of like characters working on a group, but like he has like a part-time job at the house. That's a fun idea. I just don't know enough about this character to say anything. Ruben holds a sandwich making contest, but Darnold and Gus ate all the food again, and Experiment 625 would have to go with it. With Max on agreements and on ingredients run, while Fred and tell everyone but Goofy where they go. This gets Stitch, Gauntlet, and everyone else who's investigated in the contest to freak out, so Minnie and Co have to calm everyone down. You so get over with Ruben. Just my goat Ruben being in this, Gus eating the food is funny. I love this idea. This is a lot of fun. Pete sends Stitch's prank happy tech jacking cousin Glitch into the House of Mouse electrical system for the ladies' plan to take over the house. So Mickey enlists a group of Tron, Vanellope, and Ralph to team up and catch him. Meanwhile, Mick and the gang try more low tech to keep the show going, having Ray and his family of fireflies act as temporary lights, having magic users like I forgot whether Merlin handle the screen, and do not having electric powered equipment. Finally, that O'Malley and Alley Cats play. Okay, so if you don't know, there's a running gag in the original show where Thomas O'Malley from Aristocats and his gang were always going to play, but then something happens and they can't play. I don't know why I picked O'Malley, all characters, to have this gag for, but it was like a really funny running gag. I love that this like pays off like 2 decades later as soon as the show gets like announced like right now. Almost over 2 decades later, they find that O'Malley and the Alley Cats play. It'd be funny if like no one's there because all the lights are off. So like no one's there. I love this. I love you have Stitch and Pete in like the exact same sentence. So like instant maneuver for me. I'm a little iffy on Tron if that is live action, but Tron Cycles did appear in the show, so I'll give you that one. Yeah, a lot of really fun idea. I like the idea of like a lower tech episode having like Ray being the light equipment because he's a firefly. This is a really fun idea. Again, bringing back the O'Malley idea, that's just great. Doofenshmirtz tries to zap Perry with a handheld version of his Disintegrator, only for it to be set to Invisible-Nator, accidentally zap Mickey before self-destructs. Two people tripping over invisible chairs and tables, and the gang trying to get Mickey visible again, while Donald appears to carry the show. Perfect idea. Invisible Mickey has so much potential when he's trying to host a show, make it all showy. Maybe have Pete or something like grab the invisibility gun, like he just turns like the guests invisible, or he turns the musical talent invisible. Really fun idea. I really love this one. I think all these have so far been like absolute bangers. You should pat yourself on the back for that. Donald calls in sick one day, so in desperate need of a doorman to welcome guests. Mickey hastily gives the job to Foolie from Lion Guard, who just roll her eyes, thinking it's just easy to shake hands and waving hello with a smile. Giving her more first personality with Donald. She finds it hard when she starts going crazy sniffing at villains, getting tired of saying hello to 101 puppies, and getting scolded by Daisy by her world, doing what Donald does but worse. Eventually has to help Mickey and Kion get together and is able to handle things until the end of the episode when Donald comes back, just as if guests have left. I have no idea who this character is. I knew Ono, I know he's the bird, but I do not know who this character is. So I'll just say, sounds cool, and I'll move on. Haley and Jake Long team up to find mystical creatures who threatened the future by messing up the former. Next part of the list, performing at the comedy club and open mic night. The duo searches and finds the creature who is threatening Haley's chances, where he's Jinx the ghost, trying to sit down open mic night. But the two get the ghost out, and Haley does her comedy act. I like using, again, lesser known shows, like Haley's on it, no one knows what that show is. American Dragon has a fan base, but it's definitely not as fierce as Kim Possible, Phineas and Ferb, or most of the 2010 shows. So I like using more lesser known, talked about shows. She's a really fun antagonist. She's in Ghost of Molly VA. She's a really fun antagonist to include in this show. Yeah, I like this idea. Buzz and Bolt share laughed about how they used to think they had crazy powers. Like, okay, I'm just gonna break this right here. I love the idea of Buzz and Bolt together. Like, that seems like such an obvious combination. I can't even handle it. So that's just such a great idea. I love that so much. But because Carl does the memory drop erasing device, he was bringing for Major Monogram and zaps the two, and they start acting like the former hero personas. And Woody and Mittens go to Donald and Mickey to plan to help them get their memories of who they really are back. We also have Mittens shouting Bolt, "You are a pet." My favorite idea so far. This is just so funny, just so in line with the original show. This is great. This is so good. I want the show to be made just for this episode. It just fits so well. Amity and Barley find out Mickey wants a magic act, and the two write Lou's and Ian's name on the registration respectively. They both got in, but the fight over whether Amity's girlfriend or Barley's brother is better at magic, and thus overstress the two, to make them impress Mickey, and the crowd only for Mickey himself to meet the two backstage and let them know what he saw, what they can do already, and think that they're great no matter what. Said show does do great, and Amity and Barley apologize for overstressing the two. I know who Barley is, but you run me over with Amity and lose. I don't know who Barley. I'm gonna Google like Barley and Ian. Oh, they're from Onward. Okay, I forgot that movie existed. Yeah, no, yeah, the brothers and they do. Okay, no, I like that. I like that. That's a good idea. I just forgot what I forgot Onward existed for a second. It's a nightclub. Goliath's clan from the Gargoyles fly in for some relaxation, but the more heroic heroes freak out. But Mickey, Minnie, and Touch and Goofy treat them the same way they treat all their guests. And eventually, some less easy to creak out heroes like Bunga, Luz, and Jake end up making friends with them as well. I like the idea of gargoyles. Gargoyles will be a really fun thing because you're right, they do look like very threatening. I could imagine like Chernobog would immediately think that they're like on his side or something when they're heroic. Donald definitely be suspicious of them. I think it would be fun if like the episode just start like night comes down and the gargoyles are like actual stones on top of the building, like the decoration for the building, and then they just come wake and they go into the nightclub. I think it's a lot of fun. I really love gargoyles, so yeah, this is great. I know I'm taking this from an ABC Muppet Show, but there's an episode where Gonzo gets freaked out by the idea of stepping back into his Daredevil stunts after years of being on a commission on that front. But with help from Daredevil partner for the episode Goofy, the two end up making a great dual stunt performances for the crowd. Sounds fun. Just give Muppets multiple episodes. Everyone loves the Muppets. Why not? I know I said like I like the other episode for Muppets. Someone suggested more, but like it's Muppets. Everyone loves Muppets. Just freaking include all the Muppet characters. An episode where Olaf from Frozen tries to make friends with Ember from Elemental, and the latter tries to avoid him because of the whole snow and fire thing, but because Elsa gave him the permafrost, it's perfectly fine for the two to interact, or at least for Olaf to be close to her, but without Ember melting him, and with some explaining the Ice Lady, the Fire Girl, and Snowman become friends. Fun idea. Kind of just sounds like the entire plot of Elemental minus the romance, but I don't know, sounds fun. Olaf would be a fun character to include. We play Mickey and the Roadster Racers, where Pete has plenty of not bad cousins and guests at the house, say Junkyard Pete, trying for just to the hearts for Pete. But after that being the Pete Goofy is good pals, and he stands up for him and loses some trust for the guest house theft attempt, Pete comes in and is revealed to be a distant cousin of Junkyard Pete, apologizes, Pete forgives him, everyone's happy. Again, I don't watch the preschool shows because I'm 24 years old, so I don't know the lore of Pete. I'm going to dive into this when I do a giant freaking Pete retrospective in February. I like the episodes with Pete, so let's get the thumbs up. A Renaissance special where Robin Hood takes solace in the fact that he's not the only one dressed up like from medieval England, but caught off guard when it turns out Nick Wilde, I knew it. I knew Nick Wilde was going to come up, went and dressed like him only for a pair of pants, and feels like he's trying to get attention pulled from close friends like Little John and Marion. But Mickey, consoling him, finds out Nick did because he really looked up to Robin, steal the rich gift with the poor mentality, and one dressed like his childhood hero. I love the idea of a medieval Renaissance like fair. I love the idea of Nick idolizing Robin. Really fun idea. This is super cool. I really like this. I feel like Nick and Robin are probably like two of those obvious like characters you need to connect and somehow. There's a lot of comparison between the two. I love this idea. Hero just chills in the House of Mouse until he sees what looks like Microbots invade the house, and he and Baymax trained up with Darkwing and 2017 Gosalyn. I do question why you say specifically 2017 Gosalyn. Like is it like normal Darkwing and 2017 Gosalyn, or is it both 2017 versions? It doesn't matter. To find the perp, which turns out to be the Phantom Blot in his latest attempt to be the ultimate thief by using the Microbots to steal from the other guests right from under their noses. But the combination of Darkwing's smoke gun and Baymax's rocket fist, they get headband and they control his Microbots, and Hero turns against the Blot. Yeah, I think that's a fine idea. I don't have much to say about this. I like including the Blot. He was like a major character in the first show. He had like one episode, but it was like one of the bigger episodes. So yeah, I like that. Donald brings the goddess of adventure, Exandra, from Legend of the Three Caballeros to the House of Mouse. But in an attempt to steal another god off his back, Hades steals the bookmark and uses the spell to close the book Exandra's looked to, and steals her inside, so the Caballeros and team of powerhouses like Hercules, Kyan, and Luz. You really like Lion Guard. I get it, yeah. Luz, Amity, Maui, Stitch, and Jake team up to find the storage room where Hades is hiding the bookmark and find something that can open the book in. I have not seen Legend of Three Caballeros. I am aware of it. I will probably watch it soon because I want to do a video on like Mickey like reboots and whatnot. So this sounds cool. Hades would obviously have to be in this because he is like one of the most recurring guests in the show. Because they could get James Woods back, so it makes sense to like use one of their very few celebrities they could get back. PD0792 does not have a episode idea, but he says Mickey Mouse needs his own Pizza Tower fan game. Yes. There's nothing to do with House of Mouse, but this is just a really fun idea. A Jetsis65 says, a small idea, Grunkle Stan takes over as host while Mickey is away or something. I think that could be funny. Grunkle Stan would be the perfect character to try to like replace Mickey for a day. Not like maliciously, but like Mickey has to like go on vacation, or Mickey's too busy with some other thing, and he just picks Stan. I think Stan's like kind of scummy but still funny shtick of running the Mystery Shack would work super well for a day when he's like trying to run the house. Yeah, I really like this. This is a fun idea. Tim Robb does not have episode ideas. He tries to correct me when I was like giving reasons why the show might not be on Disney Plus. I doubt the Tarzan right issues are that big because the characters appear in the background Once Upon Studios, and Song of the South characters and Crows and Dumbo Village cameos hardly should any damage to Disney. Well, okay, but like if the Tarzan characters and Song of the South and Dumbo characters aren't like problems, why are the shows not on Disney Plus? Are you saying Disney's stupid? Okay, yeah, you got a fair point. Though to kind of defend myself, House of Mouse and Once Upon a Studio are literally 2 decades apart, so I would not be shocked if they were able to get the original rights back. The rights were a problem at a point. Kingdom Hearts, they were in the first game, a remake of the first Kingdom Hearts game, and none of the Tarzan characters were in that one because of rights reasons. So there was a time where Tarzan rights were iffy, but you are right, it seems like it's kind of gotten better. I still don't think the Tarzan show's in Disney Plus though, so that still could be a thing. But I feel it's Disney. They could pull strings, and again, you're right. Song of South and Dumbo Crows aren't probably not that big of a deal because Dumbo Crows don't do anything offensive, and they did hire a black actor to voice them in only one episode, or I think only one episode. And the Song of the South characters, I know they're remaking Splash Mountain, but they've had Splash Mountain for 2 freaking decades, and it was perfectly fine for 2 decades, or probably even longer. But I mean, like for the 2000s, they've had Song of the South for so long, and no one cared. They're probably still going to use them as like characters, like they're still going to have merchandise, and they're certainly around the parks because those are still like iconic characters who are divorced enough from the movie. So I don't think they're going to be that big of a problem. So yeah, it really much might just be Disney is stupid and they didn't put it on Disney Plus yet. Nana Zaruka, again, I'm very sorry if I said that name wrong. An episode where Tinkerbell versus Merlin versus Fairy Godmother versus Genie. It's all about which one is both most magical and most powerful. Only lose to Horn King and Chernabog and the villains. I feel like it'd make more sense if they're all trying to prove they're the best at magic, and then they team up to fight Horn King and Chernabog. It'd be a little dark if like 2 of the darkest villains in Disney history beat all the heroes, but I feel like you could spin it to be like more comedic. Again, Chernabog is mostly just a joke in House of Mouse, so you could probably do the same thing where like Horn King has a more comedic personality. Just make him Lord Hater. Recess Bureau has 2 ideas. Valentine's episode. Daisy or Goofy found something that makes almost everyone in the club fall in love with someone, so basically crack ship episode. I was not expecting the word crack ship to pop up. Mickey and his friends might find it clear. Only characters not on the spell are Mickey's crew and Gaston, because no one loves himself on Gaston. That's perfect. I was a little iffy because I don't like Love Potion episodes because they get a little weird when you look at them. There's a reason why Love Potion episodes have died off in like the 2010s and 2020s. Like name the last time there's a Love Potion episode. I think the last one I could think of is like Gravity Falls. But no, you sold me with the freaking Gaston thing. And like it's a crossover. You gotta have some weird ships, and they did exist in the original. My favorite episode of the original was the one that had Hades and Maleficent together, and Maleficent had also flirted with. I think she flirted with Jafar at one point. I know Captain Hook tried to make his move on her in that same episode. Chernabog was with her for one episode with a dragon form. So like. I'm okay with playing the crack ships for one episode. That's fun. Mickey and Donald are 6, so their sisters Felicity or Amelia and Della cover for them. Who is Felicity and Amelia? They sound familiar, but I don't know the face. Della though, Della's a really fun character in the reboot. I would love for them to bring back Reboot Della. I have a friend who's obsessed with Reboot Della, so I know he would like it. And I just really like Della Duck, so yeah, bring her back. She gets a bit of a mention in the original. I think Lumiere asks if Donald has a sister, and he says he does, but he doesn't. But like Della doesn't actually appear. DuckTales 2017 was like the first time she ever made like a on-screen appearance. Alex Trevelyan, a Chibiverse crossover with the House of Mouse, where the TV crew of House of Mouse will fight and Mickey and the crew have to keep the shows calm. I kind of acknowledged this briefly in the original video, but yeah, still fun idea. Yeah, not much to say. I kind of talked about Chibiverse in last episode. Number 8578, got even more. Bolt and Thunderbolt meet. I get the connection. They're both dogs from TV shows who have like lightning stripes on them. But after the Buzz Lightyear and Bolt idea, I just can't think of anything else besides that. I just really love that idea so much. Dipper and Ford are trying to study and writing down info on magical creatures like Stitch, Star, Wanda, and Jake Long, the genie from Moana. Yeah, it makes perfect sense. Makes perfect sense that those two characters would freak out a lot about all these weird magic creatures. Sounds like a really fun idea. I like it. Hater vs. Horton King. I literally just compared the two. Yeah, I would love the contrast between like the goofy, over-the-top Lord Hater and the much more serious Horton King. Sounds like a really fun idea. The movie that nearly killed Disney versus the show Disney doesn't like to acknowledge. It's perfect. The kids from Recess hit with Phineas and Ferb. Meanwhile, Candace and Randall try busting them. Really, really funny. I like that a lot. I love Randall. He's just a little creature, and Candace is of course a lot of fun. I think people underestimate how funny Candace is. She isn't like maybe the funny character, that's Doof. Like Candace is really, really funny. I would love to see the two team up. They would fit so perfectly together. And I feel like eventually Candace would turn against Randall, because Randall's more openly villainous, while Candace is just kind of... Candace always has like a good head on her shoulders. Mickey's birthday and Mabel, Star, and Molly are planning the party. I like the idea of Mickey's birthday. I don't think these would be the characters to include it with. It'd probably just be the main cast, you know, Donald, Goofy, Daisy, whatever. But this is still a fun idea. Maybe have them included in some way. All the loser villains like Doof, Draken, and others switch lives. That's funny. I think we need more like loser villains. I'd say Gontu after the show. He probably qualifies. Yzma, you could probably stretch to say she's a loser villain. Oh, Goob. Goob is like the most obvious one. Yeah, no, I love the idea of like the loser villains teaming up in some way. Yeah, great idea. Train Boy has Oswald takes over as host while Mickey's off filming their cartoon. He believes in luck superstitions because he's all a lucky rabbit. Those things go wrong, and in the end, Oswald learns luck is superstition. Yeah, that's a fun idea to include Oswald. Oswald has like a really like genuine fan base. I don't think people realize how popular that character is. So yeah, include him as much as you can. I still like my idea and a few others' ideas of he starts off trying to take over the house, but at the end he redeems himself and he becomes like the pyrotechnics expert or something like that. So I think this is a good idea to include him in some way. Episode with a collector from Bonkers and Al from Toy Story Former Friendship. Okay, user DI. What a weird, deep cut character. The collector from Bonkers. I think he appeared in like one episode, maybe? What a weird character to bring up. I respect it. I respect it. And Al from Toy Story, all characters. Like, Al's funny. I like Al a lot. Frickin', this is just one episode. I want to see these two characters interact. And obviously you need some joke about the collector from Owl House appearing, because same character funny. An episode with the magic characters, giant list of names I will not read out loud, versus the science characters, another giant list of names I will not read out loud. It says only for it to be a tie. I assume like they fight or they try to argue which is better. And ends with everyone involved agreeing that my magic science have equal powers. You definitely cannot include 20 characters on both sides. That's a guess. It might even be. I think it's like 40 characters on both sides. That's a lot of characters. You have to like narrow it down to like realistically like 5, preferably like 10 or so. It might even. I don't know, but you have to narrow it down, definitely. I think this is a lot of fun. I just think you definitely need to majorly cut down the characters. Princess brings up, if the House of Mouse Easter episode comes together, it will have a crowd reaction shock and the crowd disappointment shocks mixed together. Future Stripe, play those two sound effects at once. Oh. Tim Raw brings up, if we can do every Disney animated show, it would be cool to have House of Mouse episode where Candace and Phineas and Ferb plays a big part, because I just love Ask Kirsten in that role. I've gotten like 5 or that's 3. I've gotten 3 suggestions so far, I believe, for Candace. I'm glad more people are realizing that Candace really did carry that show. Obviously, no, Doof carried the show, Doof and Perry carried the show, but Candace is really a stuck-on character. She is genuinely a lot of fun. She kind of had this weird effect of you're watching it as a kid, and she's just kind of annoying, or I don't want to be with Candace. She's not the fun character. She's trying to ruin the adventures. But then you watch the show again as an adult, and not only does like So like you kind of relate to her, but then also she's just really funny because she's always getting beaten up. The show is like super lighthearted, and it's all about like optimism. And there's just Candace getting constantly beaten up at every turn. Yeah, I have nothing to say. I'd love to see more Candace. I'm glad more people are realizing that she is really funny, and I think that's why she was like the main focus of the second movie, because people are realizing that she is like genuinely a really funny character. Invader9 says, epic courage shirt. So true, Bessie. The Ghost TM had shower thought ideas. Holy bajoli. There's, I think there's like 4 ideas here. As far as I remember, the only specials they had were Halloween and Christmas. Yes, the Halloween with Hades episode that I keep bringing up, and then the Snow House of Mouse. They could add more holidays, Valentine's, April Fool's, Hanukkah. I already brought up Valentine's. April Fool's feels like a really obvious one. Hanukkah, you probably notice that a lot of media tends to shy away from Hanukkah. It is getting a bit more noticeable in a lot of like animation. Molly McGee had like an entire Hanukkah episode. So yeah, I could see a Hanukkah episode. I'm not sure how many like canonically Jewish characters there are in Disney, but you could make one. I don't see why you couldn't. So he brought up like a fun idea of what designs would some of the newer guests have. For example, Amphibia, do they use the teen look? That's how they are most of the show, or the final designs when they're adults. I explained this in my comment reply to him. I would have figured it would be the teen designs that are way more iconic, and even like stuff released after the show, they use those designs like Cheeverse and Broken Karaoke. So I feel like why wouldn't you use those designs? But as I brought up, you can mix it, because Simba has appeared as a kid and an adult in the original show, same with Nala, and it's never explained. It's just sometimes he's a kid, sometimes he's an adult. I feel like you would do the same here. I do feel like you'd probably stick mostly to kid designs for the Amphibia girls, because those are way more iconic, while for Simba, those are like pretty equally iconic, his adult and his kid design. But you can do whatever, because House Mouse is not really wrong logic. It just kind of it is funny, sure. They could maybe, that's what we explained in the original, have an episode about some villains being around. Most of all the villains end up dying, so how are they attending this place? How are the bigger characters, for example, the giant gargoyle guy whose name he doesn't remember, even after the place. I kind of brought this up in one of the episodes. I don't remember what I did. I don't remember which one, but I brought up that it's implied they're actors. Cruella, in one point, just says, play someone trying to kill puppies in a movie 30 years ago, and suddenly everyone thinks you're a bad guy. It implies that Cruella at least was an actor before the show, so I think that's kind of explanation. But yeah, it would be kind of fun to explain why. Hey, didn't you die? Oh yeah. Have like Hades or someone be like, you know what? I'm just quirky. I just bring characters back because I can. Chernabog would also be fun to explain like the height differences of characters. That's a gargoyle guy. A few other characters who could be fun to do that with, like Monstro the whale, Gontu and King Andreas could be like bigger characters. They're not as big, but they're like 10 feet tall, so they would definitely have trouble fitting through the doors. There's a way you can get around it. Have magic. Some of the characters can teleport. But yeah, I don't think that'd be like a full episode idea. Maybe the death part, but the size part can just be like a throwaway gag. Potential reboot ideas. Every episode is a new IP as an introduction, and the plot is based on them before they become part of the crowd. Yeah. No else to say. That makes sense. Just have all the new characters part of the crowd until the episode where they come up. Yeah, there's not much to say here. Okay, so Ghost TM has another comment. Some of these aren't really what I'm looking for, but other of these, he actually added on to another comment that I talked about before with Dipper, Ford, Molly, Marcy, and some other characters who try to study the magic creatures. Have Scratch, Hades, Ariel, Helen up or getting annoyed. Scratch would like be into it at first when people are like analyzing him, but then it goes to a different character. They would not care. Hades would probably be annoyed. Ariel would like geek out because she loves the Surface World, so she'd probably also love this too. Yeah, this is fun. That's a fun idea. Jumba does a mistake, and the rest of the 725 experiments get lost inside the location of the House Mouse. Q, many of the characters trying to catch them. Lilo and Stitch trying to get tips how to catch them. And some of the villains seeing them as weapons. This is hilarious. I love the Lilo and Stitch aliens so much. So this would be such a great way to interpret them. Obviously, don't include all 725 of them. Well, because they don't exist. There's like I did a video where I went over all of them. There's like maybe like 120 or so that revealed. They all exist. It's confirmed they all exist, but obviously you can't show 600 characters on screen. So there's only like 120 of them. So this would be a lot of fun. What a way to incorporate all these characters. A lot of fun interactions between different characters and different experiments because they're all really unique characters. Yeah, fun. I like that. I Am Awesome. He threw out some ideas. He said Maui hang out with Hercules trying to make you stronger. That was like my first suggestion in my original video. This is the comments on the sequel, the Your Pictures video. So maybe he hasn't seen the original. Guys' night was Mickey, Scrooge, Donald, Sully, others. Sure, sounds cool. We had a girls' night in the original. Why not have a guys' night too? Having amazing shows like American Dragon. A lot of American Dragon suggestions. I'm really shocked. I thought American Dragon was like on the lower tier of shows people have, but I keep seeing them popped a lot. That's a lot of fun. Ready to follow Hercules show. Yeah, not really what I was looking for comments, but this is the fun. This is like just someone like geeking out over how cool the show would be. So I like that. Chaz the Hedgehog has 3 episode concepts. First one is Cruella versus Madame Medusa. Medusa is jealous of Cruella's fame and plans to step out of her shadows by challenging her to a beauty contest showing. That sounds like a lot of fun. I don't remember how accurate this is. I remember hearing that Medusa was gonna be Cruella, rejected for some reason. Yeah, those would be like a fun characters to have. Like having like the villains fight off, but not in like an actual fight, but in like a talent competition between 2 villains. That's just an inherently funny idea. Return of Judge Doom or Judge Doom Strikes Back, which one's a better title? I think Return of Judge Doom just gets the point across better. Making the game meet Roger, Jessica, Bonkers, and Vic from the Disney game universe, and they work together to deal with a matter bigger than ever. Judge Doom is back in animated form. He is scary and psychotic as ever before. Teaming up with his Weasel henchman, the Toon Patrol, Hex, main villain of the Disney Universe video game, the Shadow Blot, and the Collector from Bonkers. Two entire conventions of the Collector from Bonkers. Is it like some secret Collector Bonkers fan club or something? People plan is to take over the club alongside the Disney villains. Just so he can betray them once he reveals his plans to once again dip the town and get his control and total revenge on Roger Rabbit, Mickey Oswald, the gang, Pete. Let's go, Pete! Pete, my goat! And every other hero and villain in Disney history works together to defeat Doom and his allies. And once they defeat them one by one, Shadow Block is defeated with the help of Phantom Blot. I do like separating the two because it was kind of ambiguous if they were the same character or not. The Collector gets contained inside the steel box by Disney heroes. Hex makes a retest your retreat, then he'll be back to cause chaos. Only be cornered by Pixar heroes, and names like are wrecked by Ralph. And Mickey and the gang help Roger and Jessica to defeat Judge Doom and the Weasel once again by defeating them by his own creation, the Dip. In the same house and house. Judge Doom is like a really touchy subject because he might be too dark for this kind of show if you want to make him like the main villain. But this would be great as like a big like movie event. If you're going to have a Disney crossover, might as well reference the other big Disney crossover. I do question Hex of all characters. Like I remember that Disney game. I played the game as a kid, but that might be too obscure for this. I feel like if you want to have Judge Doom, just have Judge Doom the Weasels. I do like the idea of him teaming up with other villains, only backstab them, but I feel like Judge Doom should just be by himself with the Weasels, and the villains can be support. Concept 3, making the gang work together alongside Team Lightyear and the Aloha team, led by Lilo Stitch, as they team up to protect the universe and the combined threat of the invasion of Evil Emperor Zurg and Hamsterville to strong allies against the Galactic Empire. I think someone else mentioned Buzz and Stitch teaming up, so this is the fun idea to give them why they would team up. Stan Hef summon the Hefflins and Weasels, part of their brilliant plan to steal all the honey. By unleashing the monster from the green potion they found called the Granosaurus, the loud, shadowy monster who's the main antagonist and final boss of Pilot's big game. I don't know who that is. Before and during the battle, Mickey and Pooh and their respective friends also brought out friends who you haven't seen in a long time. Gopher, Cassie, and Darby and Buster. I like expanding on Stan Hef. Sounds like a really fun idea. I love using more obscure characters. Really fun idea. Really fun idea. Nicholas Stanley has 5. Webby, May, and June meet Hunter, the bound over being clones. Really fun and cute idea. There's probably a few other clone characters you can throw in. Ida and Stan meet. That seems super obvious because more or less confirmed at this point. Ida and Stan were ex. I don't know if they're married or if they were just dating. Like it's basically confirmed at this point that they do know each other. So yeah, it would be super fun to dive more into that. I'm pretty shocked they haven't done that in like She-Verse or whatever. Probably because Alex Hirsch hates Disney. The portals open up and they take to locations from Disney parks and movies and shows. Yeah. Milo and Donald, lucky cousin, meet Kay, Koss, and Shoes. Donald's cousin, Gladstone Gandalf. I would love the what happens when you get unlucky and lucky together in one room. That's fun. Boo gets scared of the other Disney characters and Mike and Sully help her. Yeah. No. Makes sense. Would be a cute idea. User DI, episode of greedy Disney characters like listed names fight to destroy the house mouse and eventually lose their money and prizes to pay like Pete and his son PJ. Oh my god, Pete, my goat, my kitty Pete. Yeah, no, again, would definitely have to cut a lot of these characters because I think there's like 30 here and you can't have 30 characters in one episode. But yeah, I think you could work around with like greedy characters. Either like having a bet or something. Like, I don't know who can destroy the house first. And Pete does it in like a kind of a cheaty way. Because he's the landowner. The media lover has my idea would be that the House Mouse stage and equipment get destroyed, so Mickey and Oswald investigate their suspects being Pete, Hades, Timon Pumbaa, and Wreck-It Ralph, but they didn't do it. It's then revealed that Scrat the squirrel did it by accident, trying to get his nut. Playing the joke every time he does something with his nut, catastrophe happens. There's also the Noir episode. I said in my comment to him, don't have Ice Age or Scrat appear at all be prior to this to have like the big shock at the end that holy frick, Scrat Ice Age, my goat, my kitty, because that just make it a lot funnier if he just randomly appears. I like this episode a lot. Gantu is a bouncer. I don't think they had a bouncer, but like he makes such perfect sense, and also I love Gantu, so yeah. Thank you, Sprin Y. Anton Marsup, sorry I said that wrong. Lou and Rebecca from Tailspin get married. I don't see why you would make that this show if they're gonna make more sense for like the DuckTales reboot, which got canceled. So I don't know. I just don't feel like this is big enough for this show. Nicole Portev has two ideas. Krill forming a one-sided rivalry with Yzma by humiliating her. Then Yzma would turn Krill into a pigeon. Not the episode Emperor's New Homecoming. Again, even more than Medusa and Krill, I think Yzma and Krill would be a really fun dynamic. They do kind of have the same thing of they want to be beautiful, but they're an ugly old woman. Except one does it because she was trying to like get like good coats, while the other is just kind of vain and funny. I feel like they work off each other really well. I do question though, why a pigeon? I think the more obvious thing would be have her turn into a Dalmatian. I think that just makes much more sense to feel like a karmic transformation. The idea where Raya has proved Disney princesses, she is not one. That's not a Wreck-It Ralph 2. Is Raya a Disney princess yet? Because I don't know. I haven't checked the official Disney princess lineup. And you say not a Wreck-It Ralph 2, but she didn't exist in that time. But yeah, no. I think Raya. You have to do something with Disney princesses because they're too big of a brand not to do. But yeah, I like that. And then the final submission. We're ending it off here. Really big one. World-shattering thingy. Robin says, an episode where King Andreas is my dad. So just real life.